Okay, let's go. Start some browsers. Check stuff out. All right. I think audio's working. So let's go. Got more ton of coffee today. Okay. So let's get started. I want to try to get my like review and summary from yesterday within the first kind of, minute of this. So I guess with my audio working, let's actually just start. And I can pick things up after. We're building Chatfield. We're building LLM empowered, tooling. I'm still completely loving it. So lots of experiments about streaming. All of my work on here is streamed not to be entertaining exactly, or to be anything exactly, except just captured for posterity, captured for future reference. So I don't really prep offline and show up here. I show up, I do it all here. As you can see, I'm waking myself up. So Chatfield is Python and TypeScript, 2 languages, server and browser, 2 runtime environments, or you might say 3 runtime environments. There's the Python server, the TypeScript server, and also the TypeScript browser kind of, environment. And the point of it is to build a form, like an HTML form, or something like that. But rather than have it be a visual form or something, it's a conversation. Chatfield is driving a conversation and collecting this information into a structured kind of form object. And so with this natural conversation, you can collect information, you can validate information. It must be this way, it may not be that way, and so on. And then you can transform this data any way you like that I can think of for your own usage, for your own application. You can convert it to a JSON object or to a all sorts of data types that are used in data software and things like that. Chatfield is built on LangGraph, and LangGraph also supports 2 languages like this. That's why that was a major reason. And today we will be working on this LangGraph, I think heavily. That's today. So that's Chatfield. I kind of always do a little kind of quick review. And then now what I'll do is I will review yesterday's work and today's plan. 10:06, yes. Okay. Oh yeah, yesterday, huge milestone. Oh, I kind of forgot. Massive milestones yesterday. It was kind of subtle. It was in the context of this chaotic debugging kind of work and troubleshooting. But yesterday confirmed the standalone build at least can run through quite a substantial amount of the LangGraph system. The LangGraph graph, I think, is the language, or the LangGraph system processes and moves through the graph. And then furthermore, querying the LLM also works. Light LLM is this open source server or proxy, which I set up. And from the browser, I could query this Light LLM. It was brilliant. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. and then worked on this write-up system itself. Okay, cool. Not sure what that does. Maybe that's a bug. But anyway, so that's the difference. Oh, and by the way, TypeScript is changing and Python is not keeping up, but that's okay. We'll make Claude Code synchronize that momentarily. So today, yeah, I remember this is the title of today's video. We got some gnarly interrupt problems. Ostensibly, sort of technically, this helper function is not importable. It's not defined on the LangGraph browser code. And so, and furthermore, it's not really like that. That's kind of a massive difference. And it's like not really commented very much, like anywhere that I found. So this interrupt system, which the documentation in both languages recommends, and I follow, that's not working in the browser. And so then the code, the logic of Chatfield, I mean, Chatfield is deeply, deeply interrupt driven, because virtually every significant step, there's still broadly two major things Chatfield does, like think and then send a message, and then think and send a message. It's quite synchronous in that way. It can, do more, but I think that's the basic kind of approach or basic architecture or feel. So this is a devastating blow. This is an Achilles heel for this. So that's what we're working on today. The experimental browser code and interviewer, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So the documentation says import from this entry point rather than rather than just this LangGraph import. And they say, oh yeah, just do that. And I did that, and I'm missing massive functionality. And the silence, the silence is deafening. So that's this debugging we have to do today. All right. I can see. Okay. Oh, is my editor open? Nope. Okay. So. Yeah, so here's my new initialization. If I want to have some fun today, something I would really love to do would be to maybe get into these light LM virtual keys. Yeah. Spend, control model access. Ooh, I love it. Yes. But I might do this as a little pleasant break from this less pleasant debugging I'm about to do. Y is right. So here we are. The disturbing thing is that, like I said, the silence, I was kind of joking, but the silence means to me maybe I have some sort of conceptual, I either have a conceptual misunderstanding, which I don't think I've got, or maybe I've got a version problem. Maybe like something about this alpha upgrade or something, or maybe I'm just being bitten by an alpha. Could I downgrade? Yeah, master key, Postgres. Let's close light alarm. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Yay, the interrupt was called. I did that. Okay. All right. I checked this in. This is super. I don't know. I must have been rushed. Okay. All right. Where's my coffee? All right. So here's this link. I mean, I'll start here, drink my coffee, and read some LangGraph. Alpha docs, right? So do the alpha docs have any web environment? I think that was the problem. I think, let's read OSS v1 alpha. Yeah. Web loaders. No. What coding agent? Oh. Oh, software engineer? Is that what that is? Oh, they made it? Oh gosh. Wait, what? Asynchronous what? Oh, they made a coding agent? 399 commits? All right. Oh, interesting. So this is a LangChain Claude Code competitor, it looks like. Huh. And he uses LangGraph. Very cool. Uh-huh. Interesting. Sandbox in the cloud? What? I don't know about that. Directly from GitHub issues. Okay. All right. We don't want this. This is not what we want. Observability. Web hooks, no. No. What about this? Is that a thing? That's got to match. LangGraph server. Let's maybe go read it. I could maybe just browse. I could maybe just go into there. Langsmith. Chain. LangGraph. Yeah. Oops. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Oh. That's interesting. Zod. Oh, look what they do. I should do this. Pre-built. Preggle. Oh, that's really interesting. They ship it all. Maybe that's awesome. So here's web. Mm-hmm. What's the input object? Let's ask Claude Code. Let's just do this and ask Claude Code. custom? I thought so. The source TypeScript file? Is that really true? Let's go read that. Let's go Google that. I don't know if I believe that. Yeah, non-standard. Okay. I guess I believe it. Okay. All right, so that's why. So it's this random custom one. Okay. So we could go read web. Import types and default. Okay. There's the types. Okay. Oh, wow. And they do require, they do common JS. Whoa. I don't know about that, but okay. Channels. So I kind of want to go look. Let's just see. Can I just jump here? F12. Yeah, this is okay. So now I know this code base. I can just say LangGraph / is it source? Was it? Uh-oh. Yeah, source. Ooh. The source is not shipped. Okay. Let's see if I can just like browse over to the code. Yep. No, I want to read. I want to read the code. Okay. Framework. LangChain. Right. Python. Nope. Create agent chat. Yep. Uh-huh. LangGraph Studio. Very cool. Oh, look, there's the LangChain foremost. I wanted to search that and look for these client-side, success stories. How-to guides. Beam, very cool. API, maybe. Now, okay, here's the next problem, though. What is this, libs? Ooh. Source. Maybe we're getting close. Web, right? Here it is. Interesting. 3 months ago. Okay. This is doable. And then, oh, look, type interrupt. Okay. Where's that interrupt type come from? Constants.js. Oh, yeah. Special channel. Okay, it's a channel. Good. I don't know exactly what that is. I know that's a pregel, I believe, concept, which LangGraph uses. But what I think I do know is this is not for me. I don't want a channel. I want a helper function. I don't want a channel. So that's great. So that rules that out. There's only 2 or 3 of these objects. Now, what if I read something else, like, for example, index.ts, right? Oh, what is this? What is this? Interrupt.ts. What? Constants. Interrupts. No. 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 What is this? This is undocumented. I've never seen this. Wait, and then was it in the package.json? Did I just miss it? Look, let's do this. Package JQ. Let's do dot, what is it? What's that top level object? Exports. Uh-huh. It's not alphabetical, so it goes dot, and then it goes web. Channels, Pregel, pre-built, remote, Zod schema. Yeah. Excuse me? And now there's this massive interrupts. Now, okay, I know what to do. Let's go read. Is there a package.json here? Yes. Is this the same as mine? Okay. Dot, web, Pregel, pre-built, remote, Zod schema. Remote. What is remote? Yeah. What is remote? I wonder. I'm just kind of curious. Is that related to? I need to bomb. Is that related to? Remote graph. Oh, interesting. So we could search for interrupt.js and interrupt.ts. What's going on? Interrupt.js. Let's see. Oh, so that's imported. Oh, look at that. The index is just everything from the web plus these other objects. Interesting. That's it. Yeah, that's it. There's your async local storage. There's all the web exports, and then we also pull in interrupts. So I could try to pull the interrupt myself. Let's see, what does the interrupt import anything seemingly problematic? Interrupt. Yes. I think it does. It's the storage issue. Okay. And then I think I may have actually read this code. Yeah, Scratchpad. This rings a bell. I think I read this code, but I may have read like a JavaScript compiled version, which was roughly readable. It wasn't super readable. Okay. Checkpoint namespace. Yikes. So it runs twice. Let's see if there's anything interesting in the examples or in the documentation. Okay, so pause the execution of a node and return the value of the resume input when the graph is re-invoked. Right. Multiple interrupts can be called within a single node. Oh, no kidding. Cool. When an interrupt is called, if there is a resume value available from a previous command, it returns it. Okay. Otherwise, it throws. Yes, yes. Okay. The graph. Right. Because the interrupt function propagates by throwing a special graph interrupt error. Right. Avoid try catch. Yeah, I read this. Value. This will be available in task.interrupts. Okay. Interesting. The resume value provided when a graph is... Wait, what? The resume value. Oh, it return. Oh, of course. Right. It returns it. Right. This passes it out. This is how I pass my message out ultimately. This is why interrupt is so deeply embedded in Chatfield. And incidentally, in 2 languages, you know. This is all working completely fine in Python. So I got to be mindful of that. Okay. First interrupt, pause. Second interrupt, only called after the first is resumed. Wow, so that means these continue to return their values. Use the resume values. Right. So it goes throw, and then it goes return. And having returned there, This one's going to throw, and then it's going to re-execute again. This one's going to return again in the subsequent invocation, and then this one will return again, or for its first time, and then everything's ready. That's completely insane. It's totally bonkers. I don't mind asynchronous programming, and I don't mind synchronous programming, but this is a kind of bizarre hybrid. All right. It's sort of slightly, kind of vaguely React kind of inspired with this re-execution, rerunning, like the React hooks, how the React hooks do this. All right. Resume the graph after the first interrupt. Await. Right. Node with interrupts. Okay. Interrupt. That's the node. Resume the graph after the second interrupt. Okay. Okay, so this is the full function. Okay. Yeah, so it gets this async. I wonder if I could cheat with that. I wonder if I could find myself an async local storage provider. I don't know if that would get me into more trouble later. I don't know. Oh, interesting. Now, so one thing I could quickly try, I don't think this will work, but again, I've said in the past, you have to be active, you have to be moving forward, you have to be trying stuff, or you don't have to know if you're moving forward, but you have to be moving. So I could try this. Rather than define this interrupt function here, I could do like basically this import interrupt. Now that I know that code a little bit better, I could do from langchain / LangGraph. Stop it. Slash. Yes, exactly. Stop it. Interrupt. I think that'll work. Does it not work? What if I do this? .js or .ts? No, right? It's not going to like that. Cannot find it. Ah. What if I do this? Same thing. So I can't pull that in. So I'd have to pull it in from the main one. Okay, yeah, let me Google this real quick just to get a sense. Langchain / core / singletons. Let's try that. Langchain. Oh dear. Let's Google that. Nest.js. Nest.js, yeah. Propagating local state. Right. There's no like async. Right. So the point, right, we need that. Right. The point is we need this. What is it? Where did they say it? They said it in here. We just need that async hooks. I wonder if there are any shims or anything. I doubt it because LangGraph would ship it. Yeah, async hooks. Right, async hooks. Okay, so these async hooks are blocking me from using interrupt. At least I get that. That's a little bit of progress. The interrupt code. The interrupt code requires, oh, this is not quite right. Oh yeah, this is all compiled. The interrupt code, this is the interrupt code and it requires this async stuff. And I wonder if the reason is, well, okay. So maybe I know what I could do. I could make Claude Code read this and help me read this file, this interrupt. Let's see, is there any interrupt.ts anywhere in my code base? No. Where can I get the dang source code? Oh, I know what I could do. I could clone this project. LangGraph.js. I could clone this project. Let's clone down LangGraph.js real quick. Clone it. Yeah, let's just pull that down. Okay. So, find. So there it is, pre-built. What is pre-built? Yeah. Pre-built. Here we are. Pre-built. Import create React agent. These are pre-built agents. Yeah, memory, research, retrieval. Yeah, these are, okay, pre-built has that meaning. Okay, so these pre-built agents has nothing to do with like roll-up builds or JavaScript builds or things like that. Good, small amount of progress. Okay, so pre-built is irrelevant for me. Next, what was I grabbing for? Pre-built. Okay, we don't care about pre-built. Let's just glance at this file since it's, oh, you know what I could do? Although I'm no less, actually, let's just glance at this. Human interrupt, allow edit, configuration interface. What actions are allowed for a human interrupt? This controls, this is weird, I don't remember. Okay, human, oh, I see, it's a few definitions. Okay, accept, ignore, okay. All right. So, that's irrelevant. Good, so that rules out that. So now we're in this core interrupt.ts file, right? I could maybe open it up here. Libs. Boom. Dev containers, for sure. We love dev containers. Okay. Where are we? Libs slash LangGraph slash source slash, okay. Here, okay. Yes, good. So this is the code. Perfect. So we could try to just click on Claude here. Is that going to work? I need to implement this interrupt function in another browser side and does not. Oh, and I need to Google this. Like LangGraph web interrupt, like shim or what? Like replacement or browser, right? Ooh, web Voyager. Ooh, web navigation. Well, let's see. Resume after interrupt. What is the other best alternative to LangGraph? No. Hyper browser. How to yes, yes, yes. Exactly. How to interrupt from a web entry point. Yes. Found a ticket. Finally, interrupts and commands. Let's go to that. That is exact. March 3rd, Scraw 3, Sung Hero. How to interrupt. I'm running LangGraph.js in web. Yes, exactly. 211, issue 211. Thank you. And 879. All right. Good. So that's closed. So let's just carry on. Web entry point. Interrupt. It's unsupported. Okay. Okay. March 3rd. Thank you. Node interrupt. And then update state before resuming. Yes. Perfect. Okay. Let's read the rest. What is this? Support features requiring async interrupt. Yeah. All right. February. I'm building a graph. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Use the task function. Agent error. Whoa, JS DOM with jest. Ow. Okay. Task API. Okay. Okay. So the documentation, so it sounds to me like if we go all the way back to here, right? They use async hooks. Browser hasn't got async hooks. There's a web entry point which does not require async hooks. It exports everything that the primary does, but does not initialize or import async hooks. Does not initialize. I should go read the normal entry point, although mine initializes pretty well. Let's actually not read that. So then, right? Base message, human message. Right. So yes, and right, it's all of this. And also, it sounds to me like Jacob Lee, Sung Hero, says, Benjamin C. Burns, unsupported in the web. Mm-hmm. This additional process. So let's go look at that. I'm going to click that and click that. All right, now what? So he wrote this March 3rd. Human in the loop. Right. Recommend the interrupt function. How to add static breakpoints. Oh, okay. How to wait for user. A basic example, implement it using the interrupt function. Reviewing tool calls before they're executed using interrupt. Yeah, of course. You can use a node interrupt and then update state before resuming. Edit graph state using update state. If implementing a human with static breakpoints. Dynamic breakpoints, not recommended. Very good. We found it. I said every time I do open source work, or if, I don't know if it's my curse or if we all feel this way, I just instantly thrown into the deep end. We are doing this. We will do this not recommended. The reason is I was in the area. Let's see. Let's close this. So LangGraph. Let's just close LangGraph. No. I'll need it in a moment. Let's go. I had been importing this node interrupt and I had been experimenting with throwing it. So I was close. Just poking around, reading the source code. I was throwing this node interrupt. So we're doing it. It's not recommended. We're doing it. It's open source. Finally, I'm enjoying myself. Okay. We're doing it. I sort of want to read the alternative above, though. Static breakpoints. Yeah, I should learn about static breakpoints. Crucial. Breakpoints are a common pattern. Allowing the graph to stop. Yes. Breakpoints. So it sounds like interrupt genuinely is just a dynamic breakpoint, which they've debugged pretty well. That's what it sounds like to me. This is just debugged, presumably, because it throws it just like me. ID and value. Yeah. So, okay, let's keep going. Breakpoints are built on top of checkpoints. Wonderful. Yes. Uh-oh, if they're checkpoints, I might be in trouble. Oh, I see. This is interesting. If Langsmith talks about threads, I think these are different from LangGraph threads, and hence Pregel threads, right? Is that right? The graph execution to pause, await human approval, and then resume. Correct. All right, good. So at least we're in JavaScript. Okay. Don't import. Okay, we specify the breakpoint using interrupt before. Ooh. Wait, is it during init? Oh. Ouch. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Let's look at a very basic usage. The problem is, see this memory saver? This is not going to work. This is not exported in the web version, I think. If I go to the LangGraph code and I go to index.ts, yeah, it imports web and then look, stores here. Oh, look, initialize async. There it is. Yikes. Okay. Pregel. Get previous state. I don't know. Where's this web? What is that? Memory saver? Oh, look, there it is. Memory saver. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong. It's in the web API. All right. So we're good. So we can do a memory saver. That makes sense because I've been doing it. Well, I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Okay. So here's our state. We have an input for our state. That's it. All right. Step 1, return state. Return state, shouldn't I return an empty? Step 2, step 3. Okay. So we go start to step 1, step 1, step 2, step 3. Step 1 to step 2, step 2 to step 3, step 3 to end. All right. And then memory, thank you. And then interrupt before. Oh, interesting. So, okay. Okay, I can do this. So I can set up my memory saver. Let's go read my own code here. So here's the interviewer. Memory saver. There it is. There's my check pointer. Yep. I see why they call it check pointer. But when I do builder.compile, I pass it in just like that. But I pass no interrupt, like, okay, interrupt before step 3. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Wait, what? TS lab? Oh, cool. Oh, cool. They're graphing it. We create a thread ID for the check pointer. We run until step 3. After the user input, we resume by invoking the graph with null. No kidding. Okay. Okay. So this is the initial state or initial input. Jeez. Okay. Okay. Run the graph. Uh-huh. Jeez. All right, streaming. Initial input, okay. All right, so interrupted. Oh, and you just pass in a null? But, oh, and there's no command. Okay, I see. Hello world. Console.log event.input. Hello world, step 1. Hello world, step 2. Hello world. Interrupted, so here's that. Okay, got it. And then it continues again, passing in a null. Okay. Okay. And then it continues on. Okay, so that's a static breakpoint. That's cool. Right. That's cool. And then they have a huge example. Okay, where's that static breakpoint? Action. Okay. Okay. So we could have a node that has a static breakpoint and actually, like, rather than just interrupting, you kind of move to that node and then you move back or something. But that's bad. Like, you're using that node almost like a method, like a function call or a subroutine, and that's super bad. We don't want that. So I get it. So that's a static breakpoint. So I think that's a little bit too aggressive or static for me. So that's awesome. So a static breakpoint is interrupt before, basically. Is there anything else interrupt before? So now I get it, right? If I go to my web, look, here we go. Is interrupted. Let's go open the index here. So there's interrupt. Where are you getting these interrupt before and all of that stuff? Oh, it's not a thing. It's just a key. It's just a parameter. Okay. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. So it's not like a helper. Right. Okay. Good. Okay. So. Okay. So I'm pretty happy. So the answer is no. No static breakpoints. Good. Key workflows. Use the interrupt function. Definitely. Or you can do this other thing, which also does the interrupt function. And then there's other methods, which is static breakpoints. It's great for debugging. Yeah. But if you're doing human in the loop, guess what? Interrupt function. Next, you can change the graph state if you're using static breakpoints because you're debugging. Otherwise, use the interrupt function. Finally, you can do dynamic breakpoints, and that is not recommended. Use the interrupt function instead. That's what we're doing. We're doing it. Who took the trouble to write this up? This is great. I'm so glad I found this. How to wait for user input function. Whoa. The functional API. Oh, interesting. Okay, time travel, right? Ooh, let's read this. Oh, this is a different like how to. Okay, cool. So we'll go back to human in the loop and we're going to do the not recommended dynamic. All right, let's read it. There's a whole how to here, so this is great. For human in the loop, use the interrupt function. Use the new interrupt function. Oop, okay. For human in the loop workflows, gosh, are you okay? Oh my God, the phrase human in the loop is just exploding off the page. Okay, conceptual guide. This assumes you have familiarity with breakpoints. I kind of do. What's a breakpoint? Yeah, we did all this. Oh, I don't know if I have done this. Wait, static. Before or after. Okay, cool. You can set static, interrupt before and interrupt after at compile time. Yes. Oh, or runtime. Interesting. Wait, at runtime? We recommend the the developer can define some condition that must be met. Dynamic breakpoint. Halt the graph under a particular condition. This uses a node interrupt. A special type of error that can be thrown from within a node. Ooh, this is great. Based on some condition. Perfect. We can define triggers when the input is longer than 5 characters. So we throw. Let's assume we run the graph with an input that triggers, and then attempt to resume by passing null. Attempt to continue the graph. Correct, we pass null. The graph will interrupt again because the node will be rerun with the same state. We need to change the state such that the condition that triggers is no longer met. Of course we do. So we can simply edit the graph state. Okay, so it throws an interrupt. We edit the state, and then we continue. Alternate. Okay, great. Great. This is good. I could implement mine alternatively. What if we want to keep our current input and skip the node? Oh. Perform the graph update with my node as the third position? Yikes. This will make no update to the state, but run the update as my node. Effective. Yikes. Okay, I don't want to do that just yet. Okay. Persistence, human in the loop. Okay. Cool. Okay. So okay. Why can't, I mean, okay. It's not clear to me why I have to throw this node interrupt and not just some other error. It's a special type of error that can be thrown from within a node. Okay. So then let's go back. We're kind of jumping around. So let's go back to dynamic breakpoints. So it says, it assumes I know breakpoints. I think I do. I understand the static and then they hit. Okay. All right. Breakpoints are yep. Dynamically. Okay. Dynamically interrupt using node interrupt. Okay, wonderful. A special exception that can be raised from inside a node. Okay. All right, step 1. Step 2. Okay. Step 3. Okay. Here's my check pointer. Yep, that's the check pointer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, end. Yes. Wait, so where's this dynamic interrupt? It was throwing somewhere? Oh, here it is. Okay, this is the example. If the length is longer than 5, then throw. Okay. Raise a node interrupt. Yes. Okay, so you for await. 1, 2, 3. If we inspect it, there are no more tasks left to run and the graph finished. Oh, I see the input is hello. Okay. This will trigger the dynamic interrupt via raising node interrupt. Okay, in step 2. Good. So hello world. Okay. Input, step 1. Input, and then step 2, crash. It stopped. Console.log. Okay. If we inspect the state, right. Got it. Okay. So we have some tasks to run. Okay, good. So this is the, right. So we're not done. I get it. If we resume, it's going to crash again. Yes. Note, to resume the graph, we use the same syntax as regular interrupts. We pass null as the input. Oh, it's going to make it resume? Okay, got it. But the interrupt function's, not part of this story. Okay, got it. So it just resumes on that node. Good. Okay. State 3 equals await running. Yep. Okay. Okay. Update the graph state. We could simply run the graph on a different thread with a shorter input. No. Resume graph. Update the state. Okay. Or you could like route that to a particular node, but I get it. Okay. Wonderful. So they update state. Graph.update state. Easy. Will be applied as of the last successful node. Oh, no kidding. Right before the interrupt. Perfect. And then we go. Perfect. Okay, I think I understand it. Just got to remember to pass that null in. I don't know if I'm doing that yet or what. So okay, so now there's something. The next thing I want to do is go into Claude Code on the LangGraph here. Yeah. And I want to pull up this interrupt code here. Browser side. Okay, memory, not storage. I need to understand everything. Halt LangGraph execution, or return the human value in subsequent runs. Right. So what is that? Shift tab, ask before edits. Yeah, plan mode, and then think hard. I don't see how to run it in think mode, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make it, learn this code too, and just tell me if there's anything that I'm missing, anything, if this is presumably debugged code. It's not a ton of code, but if this is presumably debugged, they're using a hash, exactly. Algo, is that really real? I see. Yeah, exactly, Scratchpad. Let's see what, this is great. Perfect. Okay. Oh, someone messaged. Someone messaged 8:09 p.m. 10 minutes ago. Sorry, I just saw it. You said you don't know what's going on. I barely know what's going on. I'm just building this from kind of following my nose. But we're making an agent to conduct interviews and to collect information from people by talking. Yeah, what's a scratchpad object? Persists between node executions. Okay. Interrupt counter. Increment the interrupt counter. Each interrupt call within the same node gets a unique index. Check for previous resume values. I see. If the interrupt was resumed in a previous run. I see. So is it like, does each interrupt need to get its own like ID? Is that the point? I'll ask it. Throw graph interrupt. Okay. How graph interrupt is handled. The resume process. That's fine. Key design points. Stateless between runs. Yes. Rebuilt from a checkpoint. Yeah, it is stateless between runs. Okay. Like a unique ID or key, like look up those values as they populate during execution. Imply that for my application, I need to know at least the ID of the node I am on, of the node that called my replacement, and then hash the input. Let's see. Yes, it's a composite key rather than a single. Of course it is. Yeah, exactly. Interrupt. What's your name? What's your age? What's your city? Okay. The resume array matches this by index. Answer to the first interrupt. Answer to the second interrupt. Answer to the third interrupt. Okay. Each node execution gets a unique task ID. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'm glad I did this. See, this is Claude Code. I mean, this is, you have to have a language model, I think, as a developer now. This is great. So next, so that task ID. So if you have multiple nodes, each calling interrupt, they each have their own task ID. The ID field in the interrupt value, line 107 here, ID. Oh, I see. So it hashes the namespace. Oh, it's an array of strings. I see. Okay. All right. Tell me, what does it do? The ID field uses a namespace hash. Right. This identifies which subgraph or nested context the interrupt came from. Ouch. The hash is deterministic. So the same node in the same subgraph always produces the same ID. Okay. Okay. Maybe I could write some code and debug it and see what kind of information I could pull out of there. So the full primary key is task ID, comma, interrupt in index. And the task ID is the checkpoint namespace hash, which becomes a task or interrupt counter index and resume value. Okay. Same node, multiple interrupts. Task ID, correct. Different nodes, same graph. Task ID distinguishes them. Yes, it will. Nested subgraphs, this is my problem. Namespace hash. Okay, the namespace hash. Okay. I see. So the namespace indicates the subgraphs. Okay, fine. Resume values are stored in pending writes, indexed by task ID. Pending writes. Okay. So yes. Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. So it sounds to me like my task is doable. Oops, stop it. Okay. So I think subgraphs are in here. Let's actually look at a little bit of code. So this scratch pad, right? So here's this namespace config key checkpoint namespace dot split on the namespace separator. What is that? Config, wait, excuse me, what now? Conf, what is that conf? Config.configurable? No configurable, oh, I see. Okay, what I kind of want to do, function, it just receives, yeah, this R value here. Or no, I guess this, oh, sorry, these are all returns, right. Here. A value like this. Okay, it receives this value. I see, of any type or of unknown type. Okay. We're super close. This is super close. This is good progress already. So the problem is I need to... Okay, let's get into it. So I know what I want to do. So if I change over, let's change over. The interviewer, yes, on this think node, when we call it interrupt, here, definitely break here. Because I might need to pass in either some state object or something like that. So I'm gonna, oh wait, this doesn't matter. Oh, you know what I could do? Debugger like that, save that. And then let's see what I can get going. Pop. Let's try this. And then do I need to be running my, let's just run my proxy. Okay, so the debuggers, or the examples are running. Let's see if I can find some examples. What is it? 8080? Okay, so, wait. Oh, I'm wrong. Oops, that's gonna rebuild. Okay, come on. Examples, browser, minimal, standalone. Yes, okay. Okay, async hooks, let's go read. Oh yeah, I've messed this up. Okay. Yeah, let's, wait a second. Ah, that's bad. Okay, and then this interrupt, let's bring it back. Yeah, yes, perfect. So rebuild, rerun. Let me go off camera and keep thinking here. Perfect. Here we are in the debugger. So the idea was, well, I got to figure out that namespace. I got to figure out some stuff here. This interview, let's switch back over. This interrupt code here. It's pulling this config. But the basic thing is I wanted to get this, how do you get this namespace? So I have, switch over. I have what, this dot graph, right? Dot name, get name, whoops. LC namespace. I don't know if that's it. Get name. LangGraph. Is that right? checkpoint namespace separator. The checkpoint namespace separator is a pipe. But this checkpoint stuff is, I don't know if that's relevant. What am I? Let's get out of here. So then they just hash it. They join it back up. Weird, they split it and then they rejoin it. Okay. Okay. And then they throw an interrupt. And then they pass in this ID, IC. And so the ID is ultimately just a hash. Okay, cool. So that's good to know. They pass in this array. Okay, let me ask it. Multiple interrupt calls via parent node, parent graph, yeah, namespace. Okay. Without the async hooks and storage. Like subgraphs. I think node name, right? Yeah, task. I have the state object and I have the graph object. Do they have it? Let's see if it can help me. Drink more coffee. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Get runnable config. Config.ts. Yeah, go for it. This is awesome. If it can do this, then this is good. Okay. This is a lot of work. What's it doing? Okay. I don't know what it's doing. Correct. Okay. Pass down through the runnable execution context. Very good. Or the graph object. Okay. The graph is the workflow definition. Pass context explicitly. Instead of using async locations, pass the context explicitly to your interrupt function. What context, though? My interrupt. No. Okay, fine. Fine. Check for previous resume values. Index. Check for current resume value. Generate interrupt ID. Yeah. Where'd you get this checkpoint namespace? Here. Oh, just pass it in? I think there is no checkpoint. Execution context. I don't know about that. Okay. This is horrible. Store context in state. No. Okay, here's a question. So, graphs running in this situation even have a task ID? And read those dang files. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Do I even have task IDs in my, like... Does the scratch pattern interrupt logic? Interrupt definitely does. I just want to know, what is my graph? Oh, let's do this. Let's switch over to here, and then let's run Claude Code here also. Okay. I need to know, the problem is I need to know this interrupt function or its caller in the think node must know the, like, namespace or the, like, name, specifically whether it is a subgraph, subgraph, etc. How could this be my interrupt replacement? Oh, stop it. Replacement can memorize values for the correct nodes in the correct graphs and subgraphs. All right, let's see if it can answer that. Plan mode. Let's see if it can answer that. So let's see if one of these can answer this. Critical finding. Task IDs exist. Right. Your graph will always have a task ID. Thank you. Even without a checkpointer, there's an ephemeral checkpoint. Okay. Prepare next tasks, which is called regardless of whether you have a checkpointer. Yep. Task ID is always set in the config. Oh, interesting. So maybe we have a task ID in our config. The interrupt function requires a checkpointer. Yes, it does. Config key checkpointer. Oh, that's the checkpointer that I pass in. I see. This is why interrupt is not exported. Yeah, I know. Interrupt constant. Nope. Yep. Is interrupted. Helper for checking if values contain interrupts. Command. Okay, my implementation strategy. What's my strategy? Yeah, all I gotta do, in fact, I might have it here if I go to my browser. So here we're in the listen node. Oh, what I could do is just go to that go function, right? Where's that go function? Route, keep going. This is it. Line. Wait, red background? What the heck is this? All this orange? What is all this? debug prompt. Wait, hold on. Where's the go function? Go, oops. Go, there it is. Here. Let me just pause here and reload. Okay, so now we're going. So I believe the config is in here somewhere, right? Oh, look, this .config, there it is. So if I say, stop. So if I say this .config, go. Next step, next step. Let's just hit play. Okay. Kill it. Oh, console, here it is. This .config, okay. Yeah, that's the configurable. Oh, look, thread ID. So there's thread ID, but I see no task ID. Config key task ID. State, config, runnable config. Task ID is always available. Config.configurable. Are you certain? And where'd you get this config? Okay, let's try this. Config key task ID. Okay, hold on. Check pointer. Task ID. They're not exported yet. Yes, task IDs exist, but you can't easily access them. They're created during every task execution and stored in double under. Let's see if that's true. Bull sub. Oops. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Let's go see if the other one has, let's go see what this says. This is terrible UI UX. This is terrible. Look how bad this is. It's effectively a modal. It's put a shadow over this. So I can't read the plan. Okay. Okay, so it's reading things. Subgraph. Let me check the LangGraph documentation. Let me look for the listen node. Subgraph. Wow, cool. Runnable config. Jeez, now I understand the issue. Plan mode state. Based on my research, here's the plan. Oh, here we go. Enable interrupt. LangGraph node functions receive an optional second parameter config. Oh, do they? Let's just check that out if that's true. I think I've seen it in the past. So this is LangGraph.js. This is Chatfield. So listen right here. Let's just try this. Config any. And console.log it. Yes. Stop. Let's do that. Let's see if that does pass in or not. Let's see if that builds. Okay. So this is the listen. Yay. Now, but I don't know if this helps. So now it's just config, right? Oh, look at that. No. Look at that. Cool. So let's actually see if I can import this then. That's actually kind of cool. Oh, geez. This code right here. Triple click, copy. Let me see if I can paste that into this code here. Paste. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No. What is that? Config key checkpointer, all that stuff. Here. This. Constants.js, right? LangGraph. It's config key I mean, all this is really nice. Config key, checkpoint namespace, config key checkpointer. Let's just try all this. Okay, so switching back over to here, no. We want this. Nope. We want, nope. Oh, I gotta copy it. Let's just copy all this over. Copy. Paste. Okay, so that's not going to work. Let's just see if I can pull it in from LangGraph, though. LangGraph slash constants? That's not going to work. Is that going to work? This is... What am I doing? LangChain slash LangGraph. Let's try slash web. Does that work? None of these work. Does that work? That's not going to work. What if I do this? Does that work? None of these work. Okay, we're not going to do this. We're going to comment all that out. So just to keep moving forward, this is pretty good. Checkpoint namespace separator, right? Let's go back and look at this object. That's pretty awesome. We've got thread ID, checkpoint namespace. This is awesome. So if I go over here where it was totally panicking. Let me tell it my plan. In the node, an optional second parameter is the active config. Here is one I see in my web debugger, right? Boom, boom. So if I go to my debugger, can I do like a console.log json.stringify? What is that thing? Config. Let's see if that works. Is it null too like that? Whoa. Nope. Let's do .configurable, right? This is also bad. Why is it doing this? Okay. Oh, you know what I could do is paste in a... I could paste in a screenshot, I believe. Let's try that. So if I just expand this a bit, yeah, like that, and then go screenshot, and then capture it. Copy. I can go back in here and paste. Yeah, there we go. So... or what do you call it? Multiple, or what do you call it? Compound key using this. Let's try it. Ow. Okay. So this is working. Oh. Okay. So I need to wrap this up. Plus interrupt counter. Okay, I'm gonna have to like leave this open. Let me do that. I need to make this thing pick up this plan. And I need to pause for now. Okay. Turn it on. Okay. And then I'll copy this plan over into the other project. Okay, so let's start like checking stuff in or whatever, because I gotta wrap this up. Okay. Import. Okay, so none of that's like working. Okay. Good, fine. And then roll up has my old notes. Let's edit that. Mm-hmm. Allow it, yes. Okay. So let's edit those roll up notes. Okay, super bad code. Fine, fine. Also need it. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Good news. Isn't so bad. You know what I need to do is let's find that link. That was super valuable. This, we could say, it was, let me close it. It was this. It was totally this one. Boom. That's the super important comment. Okay. Sung hero. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, and then dynamic breakpoints. So that's the plan. Okay. So with that done, can I bring, did it save it? Is there a plan? Yeah. Move plan to Chatfield. There we go. Okay, so let's close this. Okay. Plan. Let's put that in TypeScript. Like that. Okay. So then let's wrap up. Okay. And then I need to wrap up. Okay. Let's let it push this. I'll go read it and then I can log out. So let's go to Chatfield project here, wiki. Gonna get an update. So we're kind of partially done, but there's good progress. Do a PWD. Look, it's making mistakes on working directory again. Okay. A diary already exists. Okay, I'll let it pick up. This is a small bug. So the diary didn't write out, but also I'm like right in the middle of working on this function, so I can leave that. So that's good for today. Let me just push it. Right, and these can be left for tomorrow, so that's good. Okay, so I'll save it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.